Everyone, Kilted here. Look, this is going to be done off my cell phone. It's going to be kind of a gritty, dirty video, kind of what, most of y'all are used to from my page, but I'm trying to get away from. We're not going to discuss that, right? But what I wanted to show you is it came in yesterday evening, and I've just been able to really play with it, so let me show you. This is my new DK Sonic Ultrasonic Cleaner, but it is big enough for full-length rifles, okay? Now this holds right at about 5 gallons worth of water, and it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half to get it from room temperature water, which was about 70 degrees, to 60 degrees Celsius, right? Don't ask me to do math right now. So as you see, I've already got cleaning solution and everything in it. And what I'm going to do is, this is just a Glenfield Model 60, right? It is the first gun I ever learned to shoot on, really. And yeah, I just took it out of the stock, hold the bolt open. I'm going to set it in with the bolt side down, and I'm going to run it and see how it does. So yeah. But the things that I don't like about this are, like on my other one, the basket actually had handles built into it that folded down to hold the basket above the water so you could load it in. This one doesn't have that. They're just these little rubber clips, right, that go all the way across. I shouldn't say call them clips, they're more like bars, right? So what that basically means is I have to pick up half, remove one or two of those bars, and then set that side down, then remove the one or two other bars. So that's one thing that I don't like, but I can fix that, right? I have the capabilities to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this gun at about 5 minutes, see how it goes. You know me, I like doing the relatively clean pinky, and this is just out of the chamber right off the bat. She's not filthy, but she's also not clean. So yeah. Let's see how this goes. I'm also going to remove the mag tube, right? Or the copper piece inside. All right, so you see I've got it submerged. All the bubbles came out. You see the whole trigger assembly and feed system still in there. The bolt still in there. I have not taken anything out other than the mag, right? So let's go ahead and replace the top, because it says it's got a sound dampening lid. So let's see how loud this really is. Turn it to 5. It's not horrible. I can hear the fans inside moving as well to make sure that the mechanical stuff that's going on is getting properly cooled. So now let's just sit back for 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and I know a lot of people are going to sit here and ask, what am I using to clean with? And that is Simple Green for aircraft, right? Mainly because I think it does better, and 2, I don't have to use as much. Oh, well, how much do you use? I'm not going to tell you, because then I'm kind of held liable, right? But there are some things, and I'm glad it's done it to this gun, that I need to show you. So right off the bat, I can tell that this receiver is a good bit cleaner. Right, just after 5 minutes. Ooh, this thing's hot, 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 hot. Right, and of course it's not going to get off the rust, right? But you see that this is just kind of a pot aluminum, and you see it's got this buildup on top of it. But I'm able to just wipe it off here with my finger, right? So that's something I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye on and watch, so on and so forth. But yeah, and you can see it has turned kind of a brown color, right? So yeah, I mean, everything is looking pretty clean. But now I'm going to pull it out and actually do the pinky test. So I picked it up, just basically shoved my finger into the chamber, and you see it's still a little dirty. So I'm going to run it for another 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes now. All I'm doing is flipping over the receiver, right? So this was still down, and now relatively clean pinky, right? I washed my pinky, and I'm just going to shove it in and try to scrub the back side of that chamber. Okay, so all I've done is I've taken it here to the workbench and I have field stripped it, right? That's it. And I'm sitting here looking at the inside of the receiver, and she's not bad, right? Now there's a little bit of buildup still here at the front that I'd probably want to take care of. But this is telling me that I need to field strip guns all the way, because look, I still got some right there at the housing of the lifter, and I've got some there and on the springs, and the back of this buffer still has a little bit, right? Charging handle looks good. Bolt, I've got some carbon still on the bottom of it there, right? And a bunch here on the bolt face. So that sits here and tells me a lot. Like I said, with my small one that I use for pistols, I usually field strip it and go. There was another system that I wanted to buy that was for rifles, but it's like 10 grand. So I didn't want to dedicate that much money to something that might or might not work for my company. But at 10 minutes right now, and in that 10 minutes I would clean the wood stock and that kind of thing. Basically this has come out, and now it pretty much just gets wiped down with Ballistol. So let me do that and show you how that looks. Okay, so I've got her cleaned up with some Ballistol, just wiped everything down. You see that little bit that was there is now gone. The buffer is still a little stained, but not horrible. And the back of this feed area is now cleaned up. And for me to wipe everything down, the bolt down, of course it had that little bit of carbon up here, came right off with some Ballistol and a toothbrush. And then the rest of the gun, wiping it down with Ballistol, then wiping all of it off with a rag, took me 3 minutes. So now we're at 13 minutes in, and I can actually put this back together and do a systems function check in probably another 3 to 4 minutes. So that puts us right around the 15 to 20 minute mark, which isn't bad, right? And I didn't have to use nearly as much materials. Still use patches, of course, to go down the barrel and the magazine tube and that kind of thing to make sure that they were clean and lubricated properly. But yeah, that cuts everything down to about in half. So I'm really kind of digging a sonic cleaner. Now, granted, this one was not very bad, right? Dirty. I am going to try to get a Duck Hunters shotgun in here soon. And yeah. See how long it takes to do that. Anyways, I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. And that's it. Y'all have a good one. Okay, so I'm going to figure out a spot to really put this in, because I sat here and thought about it after I finished the video, but that's regardless, right? This DK Sonic Cleaner, I know some people are going to ask. I ordered it off of Amazon. I want to say with shipping and everything, it was right at like $1,200, right? So this is a little expensive for the average Joe, right? The average gun guy. But if you're going to be doing a large amount of cleanings, right? This is the thing for you. Plain and simple, okay? Now, I do have to sit here, and I can't say anything bad about the company. I can't say anything bad about Amazon, really, about this, at least. But what I can sit here and complain about is UPS. So, UPS received this, and it came out of Florida. And like Jacksonville, Florida, back on the 4th of October, they're like, hey, it left our facility to move to the next facility, right? And that was pretty much it. The estimated delivery day came and went. The secondary estimated delivery day came and went. And I had to call UPS and pretty much yell at them. You know, very politely yell at them, but still yell at them. And it showed up the very next day, right? And the thing they said was it missed the train. So, yeah. But I even told that to my UPS driver who's been doing this for 22 years. He goes, UPS doesn't use trains. They use trucks or they use aircraft. So, yeah. But this is how the box was shipped to me. So you see we've got a lot of damage here, right? This side was actually halfway open as well. I got more damage here at the bottom. You see that back end is just completely open. The saving grace to this was they packaged this thing extremely well. So I have to give them a good shout out because, I mean, you see I've also got holes just everywhere in this box to where it's been dropped off the back of a truck. And this stuff is thick. This was on one of the sides, and you see that's an inch thick all the way around, right? Except for the sides. The sides probably 2.5 inches thick, right? So this thing was packaged wonderfully. I would be overly joyed if the packaging protected everything, but there's a couple things that it didn't. So it's nothing major, but this corner is bent. This corner is bent, right? And I don't know how well it's going to show up, but like I've got a dent there and a dent here and another dent here and a dent here. There's a couple of little spots just like that all the way around it. Now for me, I don't care so much, right? Because this thing is a workhorse. I'm going to be using this thing probably just cleaning guns on an average day. I do 5-6 cleanings a day. Okay. So having something like this and being able to cut down my time, you know, my cleanup time, everything, right? Down to 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. You see what I'm saying? That's awesome for me, right? So anyways, this will be the end of the video. I do apologize for it being a little bit long. And as always, y'all have a good one.